Going on, everybody? Or nobody, I don't know. I am ready, though. I am ready for this game. Had a pretty good day of college football so far. That Penn State Wisconsin game, another old school kind of game, kind of like what we had last night with North Carolina, Virginia Tech. Wonder if we're going to have a similar type of game in this game. I can't imagine. I just think there's too much talent on the field with both of these teams. I think they're just. I don't think it's going to be a 17-13 type of a game though. So I think you score a few more points than that, but I imagine the defense will show out on both sides a little bit too. So I think that 30-point range for both teams is kind of maybe a safe pick. So it's kind of the way I'm thinking. With my pick tonight, I am picking Clemson by 1 point. All right. I got a lot to say. Monday, I'm going to be doing a video recapping the weekend. I'll miss out on the recapping the Ole Miss Louisville game on Monday. Oh well. Probably going to end up coming out with a top 25 video as well. And since I didn't have a preseason poll, mine is going to probably look vastly different than what the APs will. Because I can tell you right now, I can only base it off one game. You know, Oklahoma obviously going to shift down a little bit. Struggling against Tulane. Tulane had the ball and had a chance to win that game. Iowa State struggled. Texas looked pretty good, so Texas probably going to be in my top 25 somewhere. Iowa State, the AP has, I think, Iowa State at number 7. They will not be number 7 in my poll when I come out with that video next week. But the main thing I want to do Monday is I want to recap the weekend. I've watched a lot of football. I'm obviously watching this game. I want to catch the end of the UCLA LSU game. If it's worth watching at the end, I want to see what's going on with that game. I peeked in on the Texas Louisiana game when I could. Obviously, I watched all of the Alabama Miami game. I watched all of the Penn State Wisconsin game, and I was also on the other TV, was peeking in on some other games. I peeked in on Rice and Arkansas at one point. And I think there was another game I was peeking in on. Obviously, the Oklahoma-Tulane game. I watched a little bit of the first half and a little bit of the second. I can't watch every single game live. I mean, it's impossible to pay attention. But obviously watched the entire North Carolina game last night. And then obviously watched the Ohio State-Minnesota game in its entirety the other night. So, and then I caught the most of the second half against UCF and Boise State. I have consumed a lot of football, so I am ready to talk about it. All right, we're ready for kickoff here. Clemson's kicking off. Georgia's got the ball first. Clemson will have the ball in the second half. I always love to have the ball in the second half if it's my team playing, or if I'm playing NCAA on a video game. I always love if I can, I'd love to have the ball in the second half. Put that defense out first, stop them, get it going. Then you can manipulate the clock at the end of the half. Uh, yeah, Texas seemed to pretty much take care of business today. That game was pretty close for a while, and then it seemed like in the second half they took control and ran away with it. And I saw last I looked, they were up by 17 points. So, all right, starting from the 25 here, Daniels, he rolls out, got pressure right in his face, he completes it, 7-8 yard gain right there. So I like that play call to come out. If you're Georgia, you don't come out and just run the ball. So I like that play call. You're not just coming out, just running the ball on first down. You know Clemson's probably expecting a run because you're Georgia. So play action, kind of a perfect deal right there for them. Oh, that looked like a false start. Yeah, yep, okay. So now this is what you don't want to see if you're Georgia. You go from a 2nd and 3 to a 2nd and 8. Seemed like an easy run play. Now you got to think about it. Daniels back. Another little screen. The tight end again. They get the yards back pretty much, so it's going to be a 3rd and short. You could definitely put the ball on the ground right here, but I like Georgia's play calling right now. I like that they've come out pass on the first 2 plays. They're not going to get okay. Look at this. Okay. Short little passes basically works as a running game. Gets the defense to creep up. So just doing nice little plays. He's already 3 of 3. Do they go to the pass on a 4th straight play? Has Georgia turned the... Nope, here's the run. He's able to muscle forward for about 4 yards right there. So, you'll take that if you're Georgia right there. It wasn't a well blocked play, I wouldn't say, but the running back's able, if you're, that's what you want out of your running back. If you can get those extra 2 yards, he's stuffed and then he just goes forward for 2 yards. Those 2 yards really make a big difference, Instead of a 2nd and 9, it's a 2nd and 7. Another flag. Yeah, if this is on Georgia, you don't want. Oh, it's on Clemson. Delay a game on the defense. How did they do that? Why is he wearing that? Why is he wearing that strange neon green yellow hat? What is the significance of that? Why is Venables wearing that? Yeah, too easy. I don't take too much stock in the first possessions for teams a lot of times because they've got those scripted plays that how you want to come out, do things. It's what do you do after those first 10, 15 plays, after you get off script. So sometimes like the first possession of a game, like it's like don't overreact one way or the other. Don't be like, oh, they're on fire or, oh, our defense sucks. Like the defense is very much in the first possession of a game. The defense is really in a disadvantage, in my opinion, because they can't script plays. It's all reactionary. Yeah, they're going to have to drop back. This is where they've got to complete passes. All right, bring the running back in the block. Daniel's changing the line at the line of scrimmage here. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage, excuse me. He has a lot of time. Dumps it off. Like I felt like he had enough time. Did he really need to dump it off right there? I felt like he had a lot of time and he just went right to him. Like let's look where his head goes. Yeah. I mean, there wasn't anything open, but it wasn't a great play call, was it? I think if you're going to run that play, why are you running a corner route? Like, why are you running like curl routes with the receivers? You're keeping the defender or the receivers in, and by proxy, you're keeping those other defenders in. And it wouldn't have mattered on that play. But even if he gets away from that tackle, the cornerback is going to be able to come up and stop him. So, like, the play design, I really don't agree with right there. I don't really agree with that play design right there. With it. If you're going to just go right to the screen, and it seemed like that's where he really wanted, he was just going to have to go. You know, I don't know. Maybe that was just his check down, but it seemed awfully quick throw to be a check down. I'd like to flare some people out and get the defenders going downfield, and you open up the field. So if he's able to turn upfield, you can go and make a play. I don't know. So Georgia has a couple nice little plays, and then they've pinned Clemson deep. Now let's see what the Dr. Pepper quarterback DJ. I'm gonna have to. I don't know how to say his last name. I've heard people say it a million times, and I'm like, what did you just say? Oh, I can't wear a hat, man. I just can't do it. It's so hot. I used to wear a hat all the time. I cannot wear a hat. I just can't wear hats. Like it makes me hot. It makes me sweat. I was like, and if anybody needed to wear a hat, it's me. So. So I can't do it. It's just too hot, man. It makes me too hot. I'm already sweating. I've been wearing that hat for 10 minutes, and I'm just sweating from it. Honestly, the way this game is, like, depending on how this game goes, if I do my top 25, and if this is a close game and either team could have won it at the end, I've got Oklahoma trending down on my top 25 after today, because this is just par for the. I know they're probably going to get better throughout this. This is what they do every year. They flirt with disaster, and a lot of times for them, disaster strikes. Early in the year, they fuck around with teams. But right now, unless Georgia or Clemson get blown out in this game, I've got Oklahoma as my number 6 team. Because I think even the loser of this game, if this is a close game, I think the winner of this game jumps to number 2. And at least for me, they would. And then if it's a close game, like I say, can you really move down the loser for losing to the theoretical maybe number 2 team in the country? So, yeah, I saw Iowa State survive. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know who it was. I figured it was a lineman. It looked like a big boy. Yeah, I don't know if he's I imagine if he's a starter for them, I imagine he's good. I mean, I don't you don't start on the offensive line at Georgia and not be talented, so I imagine they've got a backup who's capable, but are they ready for the pressure? And are they going to have to move that offensive line around? Maybe not if it's a guard. They should just be able to plug somebody in at guard. Sack! Wow, and they're going to be pinned back deep. Georgia's going to get great field position, and they could put a pump block on here and try to make a big play. Yeah, nowhere to go. Georgia's defense looked really good right there. They didn't have anywhere to go. Yeah, they're not bringing it. Looks like they got the return on. They're looking for a big return. He's got plenty of room. Wow, and he just run. I felt like he ran into the coverage right there. It felt like he had room other places, and he ran right into that. But still, good field position. They got the ball basically back where they had it when they lost it. So, besides a little time off the clock, it's a wash for Georgia right now. It'll be interesting to see just how good Clemson can do against an SEC defense like Georgia, especially to start the season. You know, this isn't ACC defenses. Of course, they might have to if they've got Virginia Tech on the schedule. They might have to watch out for Virginia Tech. I don't think Virginia Tech could beat Clemson. I'm not saying that, but uh, might be able to do some good things defensively against them. I don't think offensively, I don't think they would be able to score very many points, but you never know. With a good defense, forced turnovers, crazy things happen. I don't think many people expected Virginia Tech to beat North Carolina. I mean, obviously, who really would have predicted that besides Virginia Tech fans? I mean, most of the media didn't because they ranked UNC 10th. They wouldn't have ranked them 10th if they thought they were going to lose to them. So, wings stop. Quit showing me wings. I want wings. I want wings. I want wings. Quit showing me this crap, man. And another thing, like, why is there so many Serena Williams commercials? I've seen at least 3 different brands with Serena Williams in the commercials today. Like, I feel like if she was going to be in commercials, it would have been years ago. Like, I feel like she's nowhere near as big of a star today as that. Like, because she's not as good as she used to be. And it's like, why is she all over TV? Like, I don't get it, but whatever. All right, starting at the 49. Oh, deflected at the line of scrimmage, I guess. Oh, wow. He looked like he tried to pull it back, I guess, and it slipped out. Where is that? Wow, that defender, like he could have just went for the. He was totally faked out by that play action because he could have just sacked Daniels, and he kind of just was following the running back and just he was right by Daniels, but he wasn't paying any attention to him. All right, 3rd and 6 here. Georgia, they got to put the ball in the air. It's a good play. Good play call. Oh, wow. A better defensive play. It was a nice play call, though. That should have been better. Do you go for this here? Like, what does a punt really get you right here? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you punt it and it goes in the end zone, it's a 20-yard, it's a 23-yard difference right now. Like, I almost rather take my chances and go for this right here. Unless you just have faith your punter's gonna. No, they're not going for it. But Kirby Smart will not roll the dice. This is why he won't roll the dice. I think that's a bad play call. I think they should have gone for it. I mean, taking the flag to punt it from further back is such an old school mentality. And honestly, I would decline that if I was Clemson. I would say, no, punt it right from where you're at. You don't want to give the punter more room to pin you back. Yeah, if he can pin it back, then it's the right call. But wow, okay, it's the right call. They executed, so I can't argue. That was the right call to make. That was the guys pinned him inside the 10-yard line now twice. Okay, I stand corrected. That was the right call to make, but that is in my opinion, doing that is a much harder. Depend on your punter and guys getting in position. That is a much harder play to execute than pulling off a 4th and 3. But they executed, so they look good. Yeah, it's back-to-back great punts for them. Yeah, I would have went for it right there, but obviously he made the right decision. I just think that does Kirby Smart, is he willing to make tough play calls to win big games? And that's where I thought maybe he would go for it right there and didn't. So that's why I'm questioning, like, where, he wouldn't go for that, but he tried a fake punt in that SEC championship game, which was just the most disastrous play. It wasn't a good play call from any standpoint. It wasn't well designed or anything. I don't know. All right, we'll be back after the commercial, I guess. We got the 1st and 10 here, so Clemson's out of danger, I guess. Yeah, I think he does. I think he just plays. I think he plays, and I think he coaches just this. That's delay a game and a false start. That's a delay a game and a false start. Yeah, I agree. I think he just. I think he coaches too old school. He's not aggressive enough at times, from what I've seen. I think in today's college football, you have to be hyper aggressive. I mean, even Nick Saban will go for it a lot on 4th down, especially when it's in that kind of territory. They just go for it. They're like, we're just going to get it. Let's just go. And every team will do that against them. And most teams you see will do that. If it's in that kind of plus territory, instead of trying to punt it and get it on the 1 yard line, which is very hard to do. I mean, the percentages of trying to get it inside the 5 yard line on a punt, depending on your punter, not to over kick it or kick it too short, just to kick it. I mean, you got to have a lot of trust in your punter. All right, be. Clemson going fast here, it looks like. Trying to, maybe. Yep, going fast. Duke's Mayonnaise. Duke's Mayonnaise wants you to buy their mayonnaise because I see it on the field. Look at the pressure on him. Right up the middle, the pressure. He just had to get rid of it. I'll tell you, when I did this the other night for the Ohio State game, man, people were like popping in here like crazy. I thought this game, I thought I'd have a lot of people coming in for this one too, but I enjoyed doing it. I can sit here and yell about the game, and there's nobody else. Oh, sacked again. Georgia gets to him again. Yeah, it's early, but I just think you're trying to. You're obviously playing a really good team. Definitely want to try to take advantage of situations when you can, but I can't really argue with the results that they've had. They haven't got on the board yet, but other than that, I really can't argue with the results that have happened with you know them making the play call. So I mean, there's no reason to really harp on it. Oh my. Yeah. He wasn't expecting to turn around and see him right in his face. Yeah, a game like this, you definitely feel like this is going to be, maybe this is going to be a low scoring game. I don't know, but you figure at some point one of these uber talented guys on both teams, somebody's just going to bust one loose. But what you got to figure on that is that everybody defending and all that, everybody else is super talented too, so I'm just wondering if any of these like late games, like is you got Texas A&M playing Kent State. Obviously, Texas A&M isn't going to lose that game, but do they struggle offensively? Do they fart around, and is it just kind of is it one of those like 20-7 games for Texas A&M, and they just like how they I want to say like Vanderbilt last year, like Vanderbilt just hung in with them all game. I mean, it's the first game of the year. Like, that's, like, honestly, I wouldn't expect any less. The defenses honestly should be ahead of the offenses, you would think. Just because it's the first game, and defense, you just get to react and go out there, and in the offense, they're trying to, wow, did he fumble? Why, it looked like he just dropped the ball, but I guess they called it dead. Yeah, Georgia's already had a couple of false starts, so that you can't have that. You can't put yourself from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7. It's just completely changes the whole play calling. Didn't that guy used to coach at Ole Miss? I know he did. Yeah, I recognize. Yeah, what's his name? Wow. They're going to get holding. They're going to get defensive holding. Well, I've seen teams get delay of games out of a timeout. I've seen teams get delay a game to start a quarter. Like, how does that happen? Well, they just called pass interference. I thought maybe it was just a holding the way it was, and how either way doesn't really matter, does it? Woo! I think I predicted too many points for this game. I think I predicted way too many points for this game. My predictions have not been good this week. I'll admit, my predictions have been for shit. The only game I've gotten so far that I predicted is Penn State. I picked Penn State to win straight up. I did that on the video on Friday. But I missed on the Texas-Louisiana line. I missed on the Alabama-Miami line. I didn't actually predict it, but I said I think that the Ohio State-Minnesota game would hover right around the 14-point line, and it was right at 14, so I guess I'll consider that a tie. And, yeah, I missed the UNC-Virginia Tech line, so the only other ones I picked were I picked this game. I picked Georgia against the line, but I predicted Clemson to win, obviously, by the prediction I've made on the screen. And then I picked LSU by 3 on UCLA to beat the 2.5-point line. And I picked Notre Dame to win by multiple scores on Florida State because I thought that 7-point line was really low. So maybe I still got a chance to salvage something. I still got a chance to salvage it, but yeah, I saw that. Iowa completely manhandled Indiana. So I asked that question. No, I picked that. No, I got that game right. I did pick that game, Phil. I did pick that game. I did on my video on Friday. I put out a 7-minute video with my predictions, and I did. I picked Iowa to win by more than 4. So I did get that one right. So, okay, so I've got 2 right so far. I think I'm 2 and maybe like 2 and 3 right now on my picks against the line. Obviously, I said Alabama was going to win the game. I just didn't pick them to win by 19.5. That's why I try not to pick the Alabama games because, like, it's my bias is coming in, and I'm like, yeah, I know we're probably going to win, but and I start questioning myself, so I should have just picked it. I know how good they are in openers. I should have just picked it. But, so, that game, I missed the UNC game, and then we tied one, missed the Texas game. So, I think I'm 2-3-1 right now on my picks. But there's still a lot of games. There's still this game. There's the UCLA game. There's the Notre Dame game. So, I still have a chance to actually go above 500 on my picks here. And if Georgia wins the game, I'm going to consider that a win because I was just picking the line. I did say I think Clemson will win the game by 1 point, but I was picking Georgia against the line. That's the official prediction, okay? That's the official prediction. Well, Boston College beat Colgate. Maybe they'll be in the top 25 next week. That's a big win right there. Oh, wow. It's the second time White's just dropped the ball on the ground. I didn't expect this game to be 0-0 in the first quarter or at the end of the first quarter, and it might be that unless Georgia caps it off here. Nice run by the tight end. Hey, he made something out of nothing right there. Is that a linebacker? Stowski? Is that his name? Is that not the perfect linebacker name? Have you ever heard a better linebacker name than Stowski? The only other position that would be perfect for is a fullback, if fullback still existed. Well, Georgia's players were dropping like flies in the offseason, so I guess maybe it's just evening up. Auburn's beating Akron 33-0. I mean, I guess it's better than I guess for Auburn, it's better than them struggling, but I mean, I don't know what you take out of beating Akron, though. And it's like at this point, I don't even know, like, whoever Alabama plays next week, I know it's some group of 5 team or something. I don't even know who it is because I know they play Florida in week 3, but it's just like it's just like, why do we even play these teams anymore? Like, I would rather play. That's pass interference. It's like, I would rather play. Like, I get, like, you don't want to play a Miami, and then you don't want to play another big name school every week. But, like, couldn't you play a, I don't know, even like a Boston College or something like that? Like, why do we play? Why do these teams play anybody but Power 5 conferences? Maybe the AAC at this point, because the AAC's got some good teams. You know, and you've got teams like Coastal Carolina, you've got teams like Louisiana, and you never know who's going to come out of nowhere and like be good. You know, Cincinnati in the group of 5, but you can't predict that. It's just like I just hate these crappy matchups, man. It's just like, I just don't want to see. What is this flag about? Wow. They're going to back them up. They're going to back them up. They're going to try to knock them out of field goal range, I guess, or hope to make it a longer field goal. But now you got to stop them on third down again. A little bit of a risky call, but I think, what is it going to be, 3rd and 13 now? I feel like you're Clemson. Like, yeah, they've driven the ball a little bit here, but they haven't been able to do it in big chunk plays. So, like, you feel like maybe we get a sack here and knock them out of field goal range, but, you know, we're probably not going to give up 13 yards on a first down the way it's been going. And it's just going to go to the second quarter here. Second quarter, 0-0. So I have once again predicted way too many goddamn points. Because based on that first quarter, this game is not going to be 31-30. I mean, obviously things can open up, and the second half they'll be a little looser, but not looking good for my overall score prediction right now. But doesn't really matter. I'm just looking to watch a good game, and it's been a good game so far. It's been old school, and I'm liking this. There's been a bunch of these old school games. Penn State, Wisconsin felt like an old school game. Virginia Tech, North Carolina felt like an old school game. This feels like a game that you would have seen 10, 15 years ago. I like this kind of football. I like when touchdowns mean something. You know what I mean? Like, if you can score a touchdown, it means something because you didn't score 9 of them in a game. Yeah. Yeah, it's a risky call. I mean, but that's the difference between Dabo and Dabo's gambling with his defense. Kirby won't even go for it on a 4th and 3. That just tells you, like, the philosophical differences between these coaches. Dabo's like, hey, we can maybe knock him out of field goal range here. Like, he's, you know, that, and that's a hard thing to do, to say, hey, we're going to get a sack on this play. Your chances might be a little low on that, but it's 3rd and 13. You know they're going to drop back and try to pass and get the first down. So if you load up and can get back there, I mean, maybe you like your chances. I don't know. It's a risky call. I feel like what Dabo just did is a much riskier thing than if Kirby would have went for that 4th and 3 a little while ago. I feel like this is a more risky play than that would have been. But I don't know. I'm not Elias Sports. I don't have the stats in front of me to tell you if that's true or not. But Usually, if you've got a team with a fourth down and you know they're just going to try the field goal, unless that 5 yards is legitimately going to knock them all the way out of field goal range, like between, well, let's make it a 47-yard field goal instead of or a 52-yard field goal instead of a 47-yard field goal, and hopefully we can just stop them for no gain. I mean, maybe. But, I mean, even if they get no yards on this play, I mean, it's probably still a makeable field goal. But you never know with college kickers, though. Like, they miss field goals all the fucking time. No doubt about it. I wonder, besides you, Phil, it says I've got one other viewer. I'm wondering if it's Mandy, but I don't know. It could be somebody else. If there's somebody else in here and you're a Georgia or Clemson fan, let us know what's going on. What are you thinking of the game so far? Or are you just a college football fan and watching the game? And what do you think of the game? What's going on with it? Throw in your opinion if you want. Oh, there's Trevor Lawrence. You could be quarterback in this team right now. His wife's on the phone. She could give two shits about this game. She's like, you just signed a $30 million contract. I don't give a fuck about Clemson anymore. Yeah, it's a good conservative call, but again, that's what we were talking about. That's Kirby Smart. Conservative call. Yeah, I figured it was you. Conservative call. Right in the middle of the field. Get it closer for your field goal kicker, and now you go up 3-0. I mean, should make this. Nope, missed it. Wow. Wow. Do those, I mean, that's a makeable field goal. That right in the middle of the field does, at the end of the game, do we remember that and say, wow, if Georgia had those 3 points, wow, that's a very makeable field goal. All right, 2nd and 10. Minus 5 yards for Clemson so far. So Dr. Pepper's got to feel real good about their investment in DJ right now. You know what I would do if I had $1 million? I would have Buffalo Wild Wings deliver wings to the house right now. That's what I would do if I had $1 million. 3rd and 7. Wow, he just couldn't make the tackle. Wow. You're not going to pick a winner, Mandy, in the poll? There's nowhere to go. Georgia's defense, Georgia's defense looks really good. Even on that last play where they got the first down, the guy missed the tackle, but he was right there and just. That was one thing I noticed in the Alabama-Miami game. Miami sucks at tackling. They're really, really bad at tackling. Very bad at tackling. Big catch right there for Clemson. A physical tackle. What does that matter? It's not who you want to win. It's who you think will win. Fumble. The ball is loosey. Like, honestly, I one of these teams has to lose. And honestly, I'm going to be okay with that. Wow, what a snap, dude. What the fuck was that snap? He's just like, here, poop, poop. Lots of screen passes for Clemson, and Georgia's eating them up. Georgia's eating up these screen passes for the most part. I know I love wide receiver screen passes. I think they're really good, but man, Georgia is they're defending it as well as just about anybody I've seen in a long time right now. I know they got that first down earlier, but but the guy was there. He could have made the tackle. Like, they were in position. It was just a broken tackle. But they are scheming it very nicely right now. Fumble again. It's fourth down. Does Clemson go for it? I got a feeling Clemson will roll the dice here. Clemson's going to go for this. That wasn't on the center. That was just him dropping it. How many bad fumbled snaps out of the shotgun have I seen since Thursday? There's been so many over all of college football. They're going to punt it. They're going to try to knock Georgia back. This is going to be a delay of game. Manny, I don't guess you want to order me Buffalo Wild Wings, do you? Probably not. Thought I'd ask. All right, they're taking a timeout here real quick. So am I. Be right back. go. I'm always in need of wings. I'm always in need of wings. Mandy's in Birmingham this weekend, so she's not here. Third and short, third and short. Well, Georgia's already punting the ball back. Oh my God, this I'm trying to see how much it would be. Okay, wait a minute. So, if I get 20 wings and fries, the total comes to $30 on a delivery fee. You get a tip. I feel like that tip is really low. $4 for a tip delivering it from all the way over there. That's really low, isn't it? How do these people make any money? How do they make any money? It'll cost them $1 in gas to get over here. Hold on. I'm going to look at. Like, I don't feel like that's that bad. Because, I mean, the food is expensive anyway. The food is almost $20. So I was like, can I add some more food onto that and it make it not that much more expensive? Well, I don't know how you make any money on a $4 tip. Like, because by the time they go pick it up and drive it over here, that's going to be 30 minutes of their time. Like, where are they making any money at? Like, I mean, because it's just going to be some random person going and picking the food up, right? Unless Buffalo Wild Wings has their own delivery service now. I know Chick-fil-A has their own delivering service now. Like, they just have somebody in a Chick-fil-A car driving around. I've seen it around. Where are their where are their pickles at? Are you kidding me? I don't even see the pickles on here. I'm very confused. All right, it's almost 8 o'clock. I feel like if I'm gonna do this, like I would need to do it now, though. Because I don't know how late they're going to deliver. I don't see fried pickles on here anywhere. I don't know. I think that's probably good. I said I can't find fried pickles on here anywhere. All right, hold on. Let me see here. Let me see this play. It's 3rd and 9. Wow, just a bad throw. Man, there's only 5 minutes left in the set. Is this game really going to go to 0-0 at halftime? Is this really happening? I bet it's under appetizers. I'm an idiot. Clemson got the ball back? Holy shit. All right, that doesn't add that much to it. That's like about the same. Where's the Georgia fan from the other night? I don't know where he's at. He might not have subbed, so he might not know I'm doing this tonight. So just take that out of my Madden fund that I didn't end up using, Mandy. That's what I say. We're just taking out of my money that I put into the savings 6 months ago. I don't think we've gotten into that really at all. We haven't had to get into our savings, so we can get some. I can get some wingios, I think, especially if they'll just deliver it to me. Fuck yeah! It's like, yeah, man. Just I mean, I can't go anywhere. I've been drinking beer, so I can't go anywhere. So it's like either delivery or nothing. If Mandy was here, she usually is up to drive and go anywhere I want. But if I have drank anything, so house fund. Uh-oh. These wings are going to stop us from being able to get a house next year. Shit. God damn it. God damn, I hate college football. It stopped me from getting a house because I had to spend $38 on wings. I'm B-roke. That's why I got to get famous on YouTube. We got to get famous on YouTube here. The best way to do that, show the real life drama of having to order wings during college football. Like, you can't see the credit card number because the credit card number is on the back. So we're okay. I'll pay you with. That's a real money transaction. That is not allowed in game. We could get banned for that. We can get banned from Final Fantasy 14 for doing that. Oh, they're going to deliver it in 39 minutes. I don't know how they make any money on a $5 tip because they got to, wherever they're at, they got to drive to Buffalo Wild Wings. They got to go pick it up, then drive all the way over here. And Buffalo Wild Wings is a good 3 or 4 miles away in heavy traffic too. Like, it's not like a 3 or 4 mile, like, straight down the road. They're going to be having to deal with traffic. It's going to take them, by the time they leave Buffalo Wild Wings, it'll take them 15 minutes to get here. Like, with your gas going, how do they make any money? I'm over 13 million now on Gills, so I might be able to part with some of it if you need it for something, but I've been playing a little bit. I've been doing a couple things in game, but today I did a couple things today before the games really got going, but other than that, and yesterday I did a little bit. I'm going and getting my map and everything and selling it, but I did farm yesterday. Actually, I did farm about 500,000 out in materials to sell. So I've sold some of it. So hopefully I'll feel in the mood to play tomorrow with knowing I don't have to go into work on Monday. So I can't imagine I'm going to stay up too late tonight. I think I'm probably going to end up watching the end of the LSU UCLA game, which should probably end around 11 o'clock or something. And then I'm probably going to bed after that. Yeah, probably. I need to buy my botanist gear. Woo! Picked off! That's a touchdown, Georgia! He just threw it right to him. Touchdown, Georgia. Are you kidding me? That was a bang, bang play. Touchdown, Georgia. And look where they were at. They're on the 30-yard line going in. What a reversal. Wow, he just steps right in front of it. The receiver makes no effort. What a low effort. I'm sorry, I'm pissed. What a low effort play by that receiver. What a low effort play to not become the defender on that play. I'm literally spitting out of my fucking mouth right now. I'm so pissed watching that play. I am so pissed watching that play. What a low effort play. Look at him just turn around and just the way he reacted. Just, oh well. I don't know. Maybe it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be, but like I really feel like maybe he didn't see the defender, but like he reached his arms out. The guy hit him and he just spun and he was like, oh well, and just started like walking down the fucking field. I know you'll be back tomorrow. I was hoping you were going to be back today, but maybe you'll be back before I even wake up in the morning. I don't know, because I don't know. I only slept till like 9 today, but I went to bed early last night, so maybe I'm finally getting my sleeping schedule under control, I guess. Doing this really wears me out, actually. Like, talking for like 3 hours and getting excited about a football game, and I've been doing this for 3 nights in a row. When I do this, it wears me out. Like, I mean, because I'm standing up. I'm not sitting down. I am standing up almost the entire time I'm doing these. And, like, I'm, like, exerting energy, trying to talk about the game and this and that, and then I just get worn out. All right. I'll be right back. All right. Can Clemson do anything before the half here? Big pick 6 by Georgia. I got to sit down. I'm going to sit down for a minute. I guess I'll take a break at halftime. But we got another. Obviously, this game is. I didn't expect it to be this low scoring, and the only touchdown on the board is from a defensive. I really thought the offenses would be able to find a way to do something. And maybe they will in the second half. I really feel like that the game there will be adjustments made on offense for both teams and Clemson especially, and they'll try to open this up a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to work. Georgia's defense has been really good. And Clemson's defense has been really good too. I mean, Clemson's defense hadn't given up a score either, so I mean, you really can't say nothing against Clemson's defense. And honestly, like, Clemson's defense has been put in not that great of situations because Georgia's had really good field position every time they've had the ball for the most part because of the punts and getting the ball back in certain situations. He has there it is. He had time to throw that time and he completes it. There you go. You give him time. You give these quarterbacks time to sit in the pocket, and they're going to complete passes on you. Pass rush is so goddamn important. It's insane how important the pass rush is. I mean, you could see that in the Alabama-Miami game. First half, King had to get rid of the ball so fast. He was completing passes, but they were all short. Couldn't get the ball downfield. And in the second half, they made some adjustments. Maybe Alabama's defense was a little tired from the rush, and Miami played better in that second half. Obviously, I mean, Alabama still even outscored them in the second half, but Miami definitely played better in the second half. At least in the third quarter, they did. And the fourth quarter was kind of, I think both teams just kind of mailed it in, but Alabama wasn't trying to do nothing for the last 8 minutes of that game. They were just trying to run the clock, and Miami just couldn't do anything anyway. Rush yards, 51-1. Can you believe this? It's almost halftime, and Clemson has one rushing yard. It's unbelievable. It's a good play. Oh, man, and he slipped. Mississippi State barely beats Louisiana Tech. They beat them by 1 point. I see that going across the line down there. Missouri wins. Auburn is destroying Akron. I guess that's better than it being a close game, like I said. South Carolina destroying Eastern Illinois. Whatever. Vanderbilt up 3-0 on ETSU, whoever the fuck that is. Wow, I can't believe he caught that after that hit. It seems like, I mean, I know they had that pick, but it seems like Clemson is able to they're able to pass the mediocre passing game. Seems to be coming open for them. But the intermediate passing game, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. That the short passing game. Oh, that ball was tipped too. He could have annihilated that receiver because that ball was tipped. He could have just knocked him on his ass, and it wouldn't have been pass interference. Wow! In his face again, the rush defense of Georgia getting to the quarterback again. They have hit him a lot in this first half. Third and 10 here. I got to imagine you might run here and sit and go for it on fourth. Whoa! What a bad pass. And there was guys open. And there were guys open. 88's wide open. He's going to be wide. I mean, where are you throwing the ball? You had two guys wide open, and he just threw the ball on the ground. Wow. Do you just punt this ball now? Yeah, you just got to punt the ball now. Great catch. Who made a great catch? Clemson punting the damn ball again. Oh, on the hit, yeah. On the several plays ago, yeah, it was a good catch. This dude's punting the ball 5 times in his first half. Is he going to punt the ball 5 times in the next 5 games? That looked like that went across the line to me. Looked like that hit the plane. Georgia's just going to kneel this out. Georgia's not even going to bother with anything right here. You know Kirby Smart's not even going to bother with this. He's just going to kneel the clock out and go. Come on. That's not right. Who's the last national champion to lose its season opener? Miami in 1983? That's not right. That's not even right. The last national champion to lose its season opener was Ohio State in 2014. They lost to Virginia Tech in the first game, didn't they? Wasn't that the first game? I'm pretty sure it was. And then they won the national championship. So I think the Aflac trivia question is wrong. Let me look that up and make sure it was the first game of the year. Let's look it up. Ohio State, Virginia Tech. I think it was 2014. Was it the second game of the year? What date did this take place on? Oh, no. Okay, it wasn't the first game of the year. It was their second game of the year. Okay, my bad. My bad. I thought for sure it was their first game of the year. But it says after this game they were 1-1. So they played a game before that. Okay. All right. I'm wrong. Aflac's right again. Whatever. Aflac. Miami in 1990. Miami 1990. I don't think so. 1990, they didn't win the national championship. 1990, didn't Georgia Tech and Washington split the national title? 1990 college football national champions. Colorado won the AP. Georgia Tech won the coaches. That's so weird to think that in 1990 that Colorado and Georgia Tech were both capable of winning a national championship. That's crazy. Yeah, but 89? Hold on, I gotta look that up. Look who the preseason number one was in 1989. It was Michigan. Champion Miami. 1989 Miami Hurricanes. No, they only lost to Florida State. I think they said 83. It was 1983, right? That's what they said on TV. It was 83. The preseason top five in 1983 was Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, Penn State, and Auburn. And the kickoff classic on 20, Nebraska routed defending national champion Penn State. Penn State opened with 3 losses and never made it back into the top 20. 1983 Miami Hurricanes. They lost to Florida in the opening game. And they got destroyed. And then they beat Houston, Purdue, Notre Dame. Wow, they shut Notre Dame out. Holy shit. Look at how good the defense got. 7 points, 0 points, 0 points. Blew out Duke. Blew out Louisville. Blew out Mississippi State. God, it's so weird, Miami and Mississippi State. Like, what? Like, that's a matchup you would never see. Cincinnati, West Virginia, East Carolina. They beat Florida State. Florida State was not ranked, apparently. And then they beat Nebraska in the Orange Bowl. And their rank was number 5. So they went from number 5 to number 1. I guess that makes sense because if you look at, well, what was the, who were the top team? Who did they jump over? That's crazy. Man, college football was fucking crazy back in the day, man. I think the question was what's the last national championship team to lose their opening game? So like they lost the opening game and then went on to win the national championship. That was the question. So it was the 1983 Miami Hurricanes that lost to Florida and then they ran off the rest of their games. I thought it was Ohio State because I thought that Ohio State Virginia Tech game was the opening game. But apparently I was wrong. And it was the second game of the year. But anyway, it's always cool to look up college football history and see what was going on, especially back then. I don't have any, like 1983, I was like 1 year old, so I don't have any recollection of any of that, but it's kind of crazy to see like Auburn in the top 5, and it's like in 1983 Auburn was in the top 5, like really, like, but it was like those same teams that you're still seeing today, that you see a lot, well, not really because Nebraska's not up there or whatever anymore, but you would expect Nebraska to be up there back then. But, it's Penn State's, it's the Texases and teams like that were up there. So kind of those brand names that you would kind of used to be seeing, or at least I'm used to seeing. But I don't know if we're gonna get another upset tonight, other than maybe that UCLA LSU game, which I guess has started. I gotta check that score out. Um, Let me go check that out. I think that game should have started. It's 0-0 in the first quarter. What is up with defense this year? 0-0 in the LSU UCLA game. There's been no offensive touchdowns in this Georgia Clemson game. What is going on? My food will be delivered, it says, in 15 minutes, so that's cool. Thank you, Mandy. I'm going to enjoy that immensely. But I'm not going to get to enjoy it until after this game. But once this game is over, I'm probably just going to end this and watch the end of UCLA and LSU if it's still a close game. And I'm not going to stream that, but I'll watch it just so I know what happens, and then I'm probably going to do a video. Oh, I know I'm going to do videos on Monday. I might end up doing having to record 3 videos Monday because I want to do my top 25 and explain why I'm picking teams where they are, and it's going to be vastly different than the AP poll or whatever you're going to see because I'm going to rank teams down. Iowa State, boop, they're going down. Oklahoma, boop, going down. The winner of this game, going up. The loser of this game, if it stays close like it is, they might not move that much. So I got to do that, but I got to do my main thing I want to do is a big recap of all the games and really break down. I want to talk about North Carolina and their seemingly lack of an offensive line. I want to talk about Ohio State and their rush defense. Do they have anything to worry about? I'll probably touch on Alabama just for 2 seconds. There's not really a big reason to go into anything with that. It was par for the course in that game today. It's just what we're used to. Definitely break this game down. I want to break down the Penn State-Wisconsin game. And overall, the pandemic in college football of shotgun snaps getting fumbled all over the place. It's happened multiple times in multiple games that I've been watching, and it's certain teams. Clemson's had it tonight. Wisconsin had it bad today. And then I'm trying to think. It seemed like, what was the other game? Was it Minnesota or Ohio State? One of them was having trouble with it. It was really weird. I just saw it everywhere. And I really want to talk about Penn State and Wisconsin because Wisconsin should have won that game, but Wisconsin just left Penn State receivers just broken down coverage. They were just wide open down the field. That was the only way Penn State moved the ball. Yeah, I mean, look how bad Georgia Tech is even today. And to think that, I know it was 30 years ago, but for me, 1990 doesn't seem that long ago. It seems like it was relatively not that. And it's how does Georgia Tech win a national championship? How do they get a national title? I have to look that up. That would be an interesting video. How did these teams win national titles? Did Colorado really tie 2 games that year? 1990 Colorado Buffalo's no, not roster record. No, I want the 1990. There we go. They were 11-1-1. So they lost a game and tied a game. They tied Tennessee. They lost to Illinois. Who did they beat? They beat Notre Dame. They beat Nebraska. They beat a ranked Oklahoma. They beat a ranked Washington. Didn't Washington win it in 1991? Didn't they split with somebody 1991? Yeah, Miami and Washington split the 91 national title. Yeah, Washington won a title. It's so weird because it's like you just wouldn't expect that like today. I guess Washington is capable one day of winning a national championship again, but I mean, I don't think anywhere they're supposed to be good this year, but and they've had some good teams and some good years in years past. They're kind of up and down, but honestly, like it's kind of hard to imagine any Pac-12 team winning the national championship at this point. I mean, maybe if USC could get their recruiting and in order and get the players they used to, like USC would be the team you would think that could do that, but maybe in Oregon. But then you look what Oregon barely beat Fresno State today. It's very hard to imagine a Pac-12 team winning the national championship at this point. All right. I think I'm going to stand up for the second half. I think I still got a few minutes before the second half. All right. Delivery will be here in like 10 minutes, and that's probably about when halftime will end, so that's fine. But they're just going to knock at the door and leave it. So I don't even have to answer the door. So that's like really great. Oh, it says Patricia is approaching with your order from Buffalo Wild Wings. All right. Be right back with the hopefully the second half of this game. It's been a good one. This has been a great college football weekend for week 1. There's been some close ones, not really too many upsets besides the Virginia Tech UNC, but still some games to go. Still this one, and I think if Georgia wins this game, I think it is technically an upset because they're favored to lose by Vegas, so I guess you would consider it an upset. I think most people predicted, but I don't know. A lot of the guys on ESPN are predicting Georgia to win the national championship. Looking at this defense tonight, I mean, the offense not so much, but their defense and the way it's played. I mean, in the way you're playing. I mean, in the team you're playing, and the way you're playing against them defensively. I mean, the defense seems to be there. They seem to have a national championship caliber defense. There's no doubt about that. I don't know about the offense. I don't know if Georgia's going to be able to go against Alabama. And if their offense isn't figured out, and you're just going to rely on the defense to win the game for you. I don't know how that works out for you, but maybe. And they should have lost the Orange Bowl. Colorado, yeah, I remember the 5th down game, and they should have lost the Orange Bowl. Yeah, what did it say? They beat Notre Dame 10-9. Talk about an old school game, 10-9. Good God. right, so I got a bone to pick here. Texas A&M is up 10-3 at halftime on Kent State. Get out of my fucking face. Florida is only up 14-0 on Florida Atlantic in the third quarter. Washington is up 7-3 on Montana at halftime. You're telling me the number 20 team in the country is up 7-3 on Montana? You're telling me Texas A&M is ready to play Alabama in 5 weeks? And they're doing the same old thing. This is Texas A&M, man. This is how Texas A&M is. They can't fucking score points. They won't do it. Their defense is fine. They can't score enough points to beat really, really, really good teams. They're just not going to, like, maybe they figure it out before then, but I haven't watched any of that game. Let me look at the stats here. Maybe that'll give me some indication of what's going on. But obviously not watching the game, I can't say much. But they have 143 passing and 130 rushing. They have 2 turnovers. I mean, this is the way Texas A&M plays, though. That like they play down to their competition. This is what Texas A&M does. They play down to their competition. Florida, I'm not so worried about right there because I don't think Florida was expected to be as good this year. I mean, they're up 14-0. I mean, but it is the third quarter. I mean, you'd like to see a little bit, maybe more out of their offense against the Florida Atlantic team. But still 0-0 in the LSU UCLA game. I mean, but like I just don't have any confidence in Texas A&M when it comes to their offense. I just don't have any confidence in them. And I don't know why I would. They proved it all last year. They played games against like Vanderbilt, won like 20-13 or something like that. It's just like there's no excuse. Vanderbilt is not good. They're literally the worst team in the SEC, and you're farting around with them. Like I just like don't tell me you should be in the playoff like when you're not taking care of your bit. You're winning the games, but you're not being impressive about it. You're not taking care of business, and that matters in college football. Like you cannot look shitty when there's only 4 teams to pick from. You've got to look dominant against the teams you're supposed to look dominant against. That's just the bottom line. I mean, that's just the world we live in. I mean, I don't know what to tell anybody, but that's just the world of college football. If you're going to lose a game, you better be dominant against the teams that you're supposed to beat. And if you're not, I mean, it's gonna hurt you. It's not gonna look good for you. So All right. Phil, did you order any food too? I just got mine. Looks like they got Georgia for an early pass interference here. Man, it's very weird to see Clemson with a 0 on the board, regardless of who they're playing. Pizza King. Oh boy, some Indiana pizza, huh? Is Pizza King in anywhere but Indiana? I think that's I mean, they probably are in other states, but I think it's a regional thing. There ain't no Pizza Kings down here. Oh boy, Pizza King. I wasn't a fan of Pizza King. Like, it always made my stomach upset when I ate it. I think theoretically their pizza is good, but it never sat well with me afterwards. I don't know. I guess it's better than, like, I mean, just like eating it taste wise. I guess it's better than like Pizza Hut and places like that. I guess like Pizza King is expensive though. I always felt like they were like pretty expensive. I guess it always just depends on what you got. I mean, Buffalo Wild Wings is expensive, you know. Like every place is expensive now. Fuck, I mean, you get a combo meal at McDonald's and it's $10 almost. All right, 1st and 10. What is this? Basically a run play. Got him 5 yards. A lot of razzle dazzle for not all that much. I almost wonder, do you go with like a, are either one of these teams ever going to like really pull out like a legit trick kind of play? That's something we don't see enough of anymore, is trick plays in college football. Like, you don't see a bunch of it. Oh! 99. Big boy for Georgia. He just blew him up, and then he blew up Olongale or whatever. I can't say his last name. Is that how you say it? Uolongale? Is that how you say it? Uolongale? That might be right. That might be close. DJ Uolongale? Is that right? Somehow it just popped in my head. If that's right, tell me. They got him again! Sacked! Uolongale goes down! Uolongale goes down! Georgia's defense, I don't think there's any doubt Georgia has a national championship defense. Right now, if I do based on right now, if I did if this game ends up holding up and it looks the same way it's been going, little sneak peek, my top two teams are going to be SEC teams. Just saying. And I don't have any love for Georgia. But this defense is rocking and rolling right now. I'm telling you what. Considering the team that they're playing, And, you know, DJ Ualongale is in Dr. Pepper commercials, supposed to be the next big star at Clemson. And they are mashing him tonight. Dr. Pepper wants their fucking money back, man. Yeah, not a bunch of... See, I think this watch time is off. If y'all have been watching this whole time, my average watch time for viewers should be way higher than it is. It says the average watch time. Well, I guess I've had 52 people come in. So they must come in and click off. I know what people are clicking in. They think I'm broadcasting the game itself. And so people are looking for like a free way because they probably don't have ABC or cable or something. So they're just getting on YouTube and they're thinking that I'm broadcasting the game. So that's why a lot of people are coming in and clicking on it, and they're not staying. But that's fine. I just like doing this, and I'm going to do my other videos and hopefully just keep grinding away. And I just like talking about college football, so it's just an outlet for me. I don't care if 10 people watch it, if 5 people watch it, whatever. I've done this 3 nights in a row doing this broadcasting, and I just have fun doing it, just being able to talk about the game. But I guarantee you that's why a lot of people are tuning in. They think that I'm broadcasting the game itself. And then they see that it's not. But I mean, nothing in my title says that I'm broadcasting the game. It's a watch along. You got to have your own way to watch the game. Is that not pass interference? Well, that's a first down run. All right. They just had me rate them. They texted me and said, rate it. Rate your experience. And I gave them a 5, but I haven't checked all the food yet. Like, it looks like it's all there, but I didn't actually open it up and look at it. I gave them a 5, so hopefully I didn't screw myself over there. I gotta say, though, the delivery charge wasn't all that much. And honestly, for the convenience of it and not having to get out in traffic and go in and wait and wait and wait for them to, like, I got that food a lot quicker. I got that food quicker. Phil, me and you were talking about this earlier. I got that food quicker delivered than if I would have picked off Clemson. I got that food quicker than if I would have even take my drive time out, which would have made it extremely longer. But going there and back. But I got that food quicker than I would have had to sit in the parking lot and wait for them to bring it out to me. Because it would have taken them 20 minutes to bring it out to me. I got that food fucking quick as fuck, I feel like. But yeah, that was a big play by Clemson. They needed that. This is the damn defensive game, man. This is old school football right now. This is just, I love it, man. I love these kind of games. I know you always used to make fun of me because like one of my favorite games is the 6-3 Alabama-Tennessee game from 2005. And you're like, that was the fucking worst game I've ever fucking seen. I loved it. I love the defensive struggle. I love when when you score a touchdown in a game, it matters because there's so few scored. And we've seen a lot of that in week one. Will we continue to see that as the season goes on? Or are the defenses somehow catching up to offenses? I tend to think not, but I think it's more just opening week, jitters. You know, you're actually in a real game situation and it's harder to produce offensively in the first game of the year. They're going to sack him again. Georgia just keeps sacking him. How many sacks have they got? They've at least got 5 sacks at least. That's 3 in the last 2 drives. They sacked them on the opening. They've got so many sacks. And they just knocked them out of field goal range. Now they have to go get yards. They're at the 39-yard line. They have to get yards here to even get a field goal now. If Clemson doesn't get points out of this, yeah, I get that, but sometimes, he sacked him again. This is insane. Clemson cannot protect their quarterback. Oh my Lord. Clemson cannot protect their quarterback. That woman is pissed. That woman is becoming a Karen in front of our eyes. She is pissed. She's looking at her husband saying, what the fuck is going on? She said, I'm 50 years old. What the fuck is going on? What is going on? Why did they just keep letting him sack him? I don't understand. Why did they just let him hit the quarterback? Why don't they do something different? Yeah, I get it was a sloppy play, though, all those years ago. But if you watch the play in, like, real time, like, of everything happening, Tennessee was going down driving. It looked like they were probably going to end up winning the game with that drive. And he hits it, it goes out of the end zone, and it's just like, I mean, it's just like any other turnover, you know. I mean, it's just like it was a game-changing turnover, which, happens all the time in football. So, I mean, I don't know why that's particularly different than any other game. It was just a super low-scoring game. And honestly, like, the reason why we couldn't score points the rest of that year is because we kept Tyrone Prothro out there on the field against Florida when we had that game won and had blown them out, and then he broke his leg, and then the dude never played again. And, I hope Mike Shula's happy with himself, I hope he's happy that to this day that Tyrone Prothro never played another down of football. That dude was awesome back in the day. That dude was Jalen Waddle before Jalen Waddle could waddle. Jalen Waddle was waddling. He was a little toddler. He was a toddler waddler. And Tyrone Prothro is going out there making plays, and then he broke his leg in half and never played again. That is always one of my favorite games against Tennessee. And then one of the other plays that I always love is when Cody blocks the kick against Tennessee. I don't know why. I love when we beat Tennessee. And they're so bad. But I love when we beat Tennessee. It just makes me happy. It makes me so happy when we beat Tennessee. I hate Tennessee so bad. I don't know, Mandy. Do I hate Tennessee or do I hate Auburn more? Who do I hate more? I don't know. UCLA is leading 14-7. Holy shit. Well, they started scoring. Somebody started scoring points in that game in the last few minutes because it was 0-0 for a while. Here, let me update the scores here. I'm trying to focus just on this game. All right, Florida's up 21-0. Texas A&M, Kent State just started back. So did Washington, Montana. And now, yeah, UCLA. If UCLA wins, man, dude, does Ogeron have a job in a couple weeks if they lose this game? Because you got to figure they're probably going to end up losing another game here soon if they lose that one. Because if they lose the UCLA, and I think UCLA, I mean, Chip Kelly, I think, is a competent coach overall. But he's had a hard time getting it going at UCLA. He really has. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But UCLA actually was a very competitive team last year. Their record, they had a losing record. They were 3-4, I think. But they lost by a combined 15 points all 4 games that they lost. So they were very competitive. Georgia with the big 20-yard run here. What if Georgia shuts Clemson out? I know we've got a long way to go, and that probably isn't going to happen. But what if Georgia shuts Clemson out? Like, what kind of a statement does that make? I mean, we've got a long way to go. We got a very long way to go. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. And usually at the end of games, the defenses get the offense opens up more at the end of games and things. So, oh, big play. Georgia's moving now. Oh, boy. That was one of my favorite games. Just like, I mean, obviously when we win the national championship or the SEC championship games, of course I always like those games or whatever. But like just like a regular season, like the games I remember, like I mean I remember more from when before Saban was even there. Like those are the games like that kind of stick out in my mind when it was like, you know, you weren't dominant and every week was even when Alabama was good and winning 10 games a year and things in the 90s, it wasn't like dominant performances like every week. It was, you know, you would play, you know, Mississippi State and it was a dogfight until the fourth quarter. You know, I mean, and that's just the way it was. And, you know, you play Ole Miss, it's a dogfight till the fourth quarter. You play Tennessee, it goes down to the fourth quarter. Auburn, fourth quarter. Like every game was, besides 3 or 4 games a year, would go down to the fourth quarter because you didn't have that dominant team. It makes the games more interesting to watch, but it also gives me heart attacks. Oh, what a big hit! But I think the defender took the fucking brunt of it. What's this flag about? What is this flag about? Holding. So, Phil, I heard a question about the NFL. This was a couple weeks ago. But they said, who is the team that wasn't that good last year record wise? I can't remember how they phrased it. But wasn't that good record wise last year and could come back and win the division this year? And I thought of your two teams. I thought of the San Francisco 49ers, which I think is very legitimate. I think that they could, they've got a roster that they definitely can win a lot of games if they get the quarterback play. And then I thought of the Philadelphia Eagles because who the hell else is going to win that division, right? So I do think the NFC East is going to be vastly improved. I think Dallas, if Dak is able to stay healthy, they're obviously going to be a better team than they were last year. They've got offensive weapons. They've got CeeDee Lamb. They've got Amari Cooper. They've got Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, that offensively, Dallas is like loaded. So there's no reason Dallas should not win 10 or 11 games. In a 17-game schedule now, there's no reason they shouldn't win 11 games. But, I think Jalen Hurts is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but I think Washington roster-wise is maybe a better team than their record indicated last year. They obviously won the division, and then they're going for it here. Oh, wow. Is that not? Yeah, that was pass interference all the way. The receiver knew it. And then I guess the only team is the Giants almost won the division last year anyway, except the Eagles gave up and didn't start. You don't think the Eagles are going to be any better this year? You think they're still going to be a bad team? I was just thinking just because they're in that division that they could have a chance to win it. That's the reason I was thinking that. See, and then on the flip side, the Niners are probably in the toughest division in football. So it's like who has a better shot of winning the division? The Eagles in this bad division, or the Niners in maybe the best division? So it's kind of like a catch-22 question. Because I think the Niners are easily the better team, but they play in a much tougher division. At least on paper right now, it looks like that's the tougher division. But like I say, I think Washington is probably going to be improved. They've got Fitzpatrick, who should be a stable quarterback for them. Dak is back for Dallas, and they're loaded offensively. And then, and the Giants, obviously, they played a lot better towards the end of the season last year. They were bad at the beginning, and then I felt like they were at least a little bit improved last season, but, I don't know how good they're going to be. Saquon Barkley, hopefully he'll be back. He seems to be, when he's healthy, he seems to be an extremely good running back. So he's no Derrick Henry, but he's a good running back. That's the way it seems, and we're getting to the fourth quarter, and they got to be. I wonder what the time of. Oh wow! What are you doing throwing that ball? What are you doing? What was that? I want to see the time of possession. Let me see if I can find time of possession. Actually, the time of possession is pretty close right now. It's in favor of Georgia by about 3.5 minutes. So it's not like Georgia's just held on to the ball, really. So time of possession, you figure Clemson gets the ball back right here. if they get to the third, the time of possession's kind of even, but Clemson hasn't been. I can't even remember the last time Clemson's ran the ball and been successful at it. Really, all I remember right now from this game is DJ Ugalawabulu stepping back and getting sacked over and over and over by Georgia. And their rushing yards have to be pitiful. Yeah, Clemson has minus 14 rushing yards. You'd agree with that? You think the Eagles have too many questions, but the division is bad? Clemson needs points on this drive, yet no doubt about it. Clemson has 91 total yards. They have negative 14 rushing. I'm going to go smoke a ciggy. And then we'll, fourth quarter, baby. This is a good game. 10-0, though. Why isn't that updating in the background? Please update. Thank you. Thank you. My background didn't update. Negative 14, yeah. Yeah, it's right here. Negative 14 rushing, 105 passing, 91 total yards. 105 minus 14 is 91 yards. Georgia isn't exactly exploding on offense. They have 201, though. But Clemson with 91 total yards. With all the talent that's on Clemson, this is a national championship performance on defense. This is an amazing defensive performance. This is one, I mean, I don't want to overblow it right here, and we've got more than a quarter to go. This is one of the best defensive performances in recent history, especially considering the state of college football and how offensive heavy it is. This is one of the best defensive performances in years. I mean, I don't want to go crazy on this, but right now that's the way it's feeling. Like, this is literally a legit great defensive performance. Was another Clemson player on the ground. And a chop block. All right, what happened here? I missed the play. All right, here we go. Yeah, he just kind of fell over, and that was kind of weird. And another Clemson player is down on the ground. What's the UCLA score here? Texas A&M is now up 13-3. They're really blowing the doors off now. Washington is still only up 7-3 midway through the third. UCLA up with the ball 14-7, 4:52 left in the second. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I don't think Clemson even knows what to call right now. They're baffled offensively. What a defensive performance by Georgia so far. Holy crap. I got a feeling that the number one and number two teams in the country come next week are going to both be in the SEC. I got to feel. They sacked him again. What is going on? Holy moly. How many sacks do they have? I wish they'd show the stat because I don't know how to look that up. I don't think that's. Maybe it's in the box score and defenses. Defensive. It doesn't even have defensive stats on here right now. It just has interceptions. They've had this. I mean, how many times have they sacked him? 7 times? 8 times? I mean, that is not a way to win games. Is it James Bond? Yeah, I mean, how do you feel like are you a Clemson fan or how are you feeling about this right now? All I'm seeing is Georgia has sacked him 7 or 8 times. I don't know what the stat is right now, but I mean, I'm up to like 6 or 7, and I might have missed one somewhere walking away and doing things. But they obviously can't run the ball. They're like negative 20 yards rushing right now with all the sacks. They obviously can't run the ball, and they can't pass the ball down the field because they can't block anybody. And Georgia's just that last sack, it wasn't even the blitz that got there. He just blew past the blocker and was just right there in his face. He couldn't do anything. You're a Clemson fan, but they will be shut out this game. I was saying just a few minutes ago, I said I wasn't expecting this. I mean, you see my pick on the screen. I mean, you can – my pick is way off just because I thought there'd be more points scored in this game because of the athletes in this game. I thought they would break – I thought there would just be broken plays at certain points, but Georgia is putting on a defensive clinic right now. This is a – national championship caliber defense. There's no doubt about it. And I don't have any love for Georgia. I mean, you see the shirt. I don't have any love for Georgia, but this is a defense. This is a national championship caliber defense. This is wild. I want to see the stat. I need to see how many sacks they have in this game because it's got to be 6 or 7 if it's not 8. Like, I mean, I've literally watched them sack him 6 times. And I might have missed a couple of them. It's wild, man. It's not the game I was expecting. I thought Clemson would find a way to win. I thought Georgia would play good. I thought Clemson would play good. I just thought Clemson would just find a way to win. But I mean, there's still time in this game. This game isn't over. It's only a 10-point game. There's a whole quarter left. I mean, all it takes is one play. If Clemson's defense has played relatively well all night, but at this point they're getting tired and they're having a hard time keeping up now. But all it takes is one play, an interception return for a touchdown. I mean, think of it this way. Georgia's only touchdown is on a pick 6. So, I mean, it's not like Georgia is absolutely destroying your defense or anything. So, one play in the whole game could be looking very different in one play. You know, a fumble, an interception one way, a busted coverage by Georgia. You know, I don't know, but the defense will break in the end. I mean, I think that's what you're seeing in the second half. I think Clemson's defense is slowly breaking right now. Whether Georgia's able to go over the top and beat them or get a big running play or something is yet to be seen. But I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I'm trying to keep your hopes up a little bit. Since you're a Clemson fan, I'm trying to keep your hopes up a little bit, but I mean, right now it just doesn't look likely, but you never know. Somebody gets behind the defense. If they can get pass blocking for one play, but they just can't do it, man. I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends 10-0, to be honest. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia ends up shutting them out. I don't know what. I mean, honestly, I don't know where. Let me ask your opinion. If whatever the score, if Georgia shuts them out, how many ever points Georgia scores, if Georgia shuts out Clemson, where would you rank Georgia next week? Where would you put them in the rankings? Because honestly, the way this defense is played, and I love defense. I'm actually, for my video on Monday, I'm considering ranking them number 1, just because if this performance lasts for another quarter, I'm thinking of ranking them number 1. Not that I have a vote in the AP poll or anything like that, but I was just going to do my own top 25 video. But I mean, yeah, this is one of the more impressive defensive performances I've seen in many years. Many years. The last time I saw a defensive performance like this in a big game between two very highly ranked teams is the Alabama LSU Sugar Bowl game from like 2012, when Alabama like let them pass the 50-yard line like one time. That's the only defensive performance like I can even compare this to right now. Second, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think they will be second if this keeps up. I think they will. They're going to go past Oklahoma. Oklahoma barely beat Tulane today, so Oklahoma's going down no matter what. Whoever wins this game is going to jump past Oklahoma for sure. I think they'll be number 2. Alabama did enough today to be ranked number 1. Like, their defense looked pretty good. Miami played better in the second half, but their offense looked really good. And, Clemson, they got the ball back. Clemson's got the ball back now. All you need is one drive right here to get back in the game. All you need is one drive. I just want a good game. I want a good game here. And it's been a really good game. This has been a defensive struggle. I love it. I don't think it's the offenses being inept either. I just think that the defenses are that good. Yeah, Oklahoma always flirts with disaster against these teams. It's insane. It's like you can just book Oklahoma losing to some team they should not have no business losing to. They did it twice. Didn't they do it? They did it once with Jalen Hurts there. They had no business. They were up by so many points. And that's the thing. It's like usually they're up by a bunch of points, and then they just let teams come back and get in games. I agree with you. I thought Oklahoma was prepared to be a real national championship contender, not just a playoff contender, but a national championship contender this year. But, I don't know. I mean, you let Tulane get back in the game. Come on. Tulane was displaced. They had to go to Alabama to run their practices in their practice facility over the week. And then they had to take a home game and go to Norman instead. And then my question is, at the end of the game, that stadium was empty. Where are all the Oklahoma fans? Did they just leave thinking the game was over? It's like, you almost got beat, motherfuckers. Yeah, that's always been the complaint on the Big 12, that they don't play defense, but everybody always says, well, Oklahoma's getting better at defense. That's what the ESPN guys will say. Well, Oklahoma's better on defense. They're better on defense this year. I'm telling you, they're going to be better on defense. There's only so many times you can cry wolf. It's like I've been hearing this for 3 years about Oklahoma finally has their defense figured out. And then they just lose games to teams that they shouldn't be losing to. And it's always because of, and it's usually always because of the defense. It's not like their offense isn't scoring points. Look at the Kansas State game last year. They were how many, or maybe that wasn't last year. That was when Jalen Hurts was still there. How many points were they up by in that game? And you let Kansas State come back? Like, okay. Oh my God, the Goldbergs is still on television? How many seasons is that on now? Why is that show still on television? Like the little kid on it that was a little kid at the time, he's like 20 years old now. Like, why is this still a television show? Yeah, I don't know. Oregon didn't look very good today, man. I don't know how well that win. I don't know how well a win over Oregon's going to go over, because Oregon, oh my God, they got to him again and flushed him out, and they get another hit on him. What is going on? They cannot protect it. The offensive line is in shambles for Clemson right now. I don't think it's a running back situation for Clemson. I think it's an offensive line situation. Trevor Lawrence is like, is it too late for me to go suit up? Finally, some protection, and still they can't do anything with it. He finally had some time in the pocket, and they still couldn't do anything. They lose yardage. Did they just lose yardage on a pass play? Good Lord. I just don't think that I don't think their offensive line can block anybody. So I mean, if you can't block anybody, I don't think the running backs, let alone the quarterback, can do anything. They're in their face so bad. But it's obvious, yeah. I mean, right now they have no running game. At least in this game, they have no running game. There's no doubt about that. You're right. That's a false start. All right. I'm going to end that poll because it's not really fair to keep that poll going because if I just let it go till the end of the game and Georgia's just winning, it's an easy vote, so I'm going to end the poll right there. I had 6 votes on it, though, so there we go. Phil, you might be the only one who ends up being wrong on that poll because you picked Clemson to win. 3rd and 9. It looks like Georgia's just going to play. Looks like they're going to play safe right here. They're only bringing 4. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. That was a mistake. They should have brought the blitz. They should have brought more than 4 right there. They only had 3 down linemen, and they brought a linebacker for a 4th rusher. And I was like, yep, that's probably going to be a first down for Clemson. I saw that the whole way. Oh, come on, James Bond. You're getting too carried away for one game. Look at this. Clemson's got 2 first downs in a row. You're getting too down on yourself. I know how it is when your team is playing bad. You get negative. Trust me. I've been there. I've done that. Like we're not going to win a national championship playing defense like this. I've said it all, man. But look, Clemson's moving they've got 2 first downs in a row. There's a lot of time left on the clock. If they go down and look where they're at. If they go down and even a field goal right here, they're right back in the game. This game is not over. Clemson's going to be right back in this game. Yeah, it isn't over. It isn't over, Phil. And just so you know, James Bond, Gerald is Phil. I know him as Phil, so just so there's no confusion with who I'm chatting with. First down, Clemson. Makes a move. What I think you can't do if you're Clemson right here, I don't think you can get into a situation where if it becomes 4th down, you shouldn't feel like you need to go for it. Kick the field goal, get it to a 1-score game, play defense. Your defense, you've given up 3 points on defense all game. You can trust your defense. The defense has not been the problem. Now all of a sudden they're protected. That ball was uncatchable though. But the ball would have, I mean, he threw the ball out of bounds at the 3-yard line. I think that ball was uncatchable. Are they going to let this penalty stand? I mean, nobody was catching this ball. I mean, the ball was 4 yards out of bounds. I mean, are you saying he's going to jump in the air 4 feet and catch it? I guess maybe. I guess you got to call it. I mean, it was pretty egregious. I guess you got to call it. I don't know. But you don't think that ball was just completely uncatchable? Or it was just that egregious you just have to call it? I mean, it was obviously pass interference, but I'm just wondering about the catchability of the ball to begin with. That's all I'm saying. I think Clemson needs to think about maybe trying to sneak like a halfback draw in here right here or something. I don't know. I mean, I think now is the time for like a halfback draw or maybe a quarterback draw. Quarterback draw right here. No? Wow, what a defensive play. If you don't get it here, you have to take the field goal. I mean, obviously, but yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. I get it. You can't tackle him, but there was a play in that Minnesota Ohio State game where the Minnesota guy got a pass interference on him, and I was like, "Oh my God, you didn't need to do that because it wasn't even going to be catchable. Like he wouldn't have. There was no way he was going to get to the ball." And what was this flag about? Holding? No, there's no flag. All right, the flag thing came down on TV. I thought that was a flag. I mean, you take your 3 points here. It's a one-score game. Your defense has played well all game. You've given up 3 points defensively, basically. Yeah, I mean, take your 3 points. It's a ball game. I mean, this game could go into overtime. This could be a 10-10 ball game going to. Clemson just drove down the field. They were right there to score a touchdown. There's no reason to think they can't do it again. And it seems like the protection on the latter part of that drive got a lot better. I don't know if that's because Georgia was just trying to defend the pass and they weren't bringing pressure. I don't know what was going on, but all of a sudden the offensive line looked a hell of a lot better. All right, boys, it's another good game. We've had a lot of good games. We've had Ohio State, Minnesota. We've had UNC, Virginia Tech last night. We've had this one today, and I've done all of them this way. I've got real lucky that these games were all good. The games I was deciding to broadcast this way have all been good. So, all right, we'll be back for the conclusion of this game. I'll be right back. All right. Giants and Dodgers. Don't care. All right. Georgia knows they got to do something offensively here. Throwing on first down. Wow. Bad pass. Receiver didn't even know where the ball was. He's just looking around. Yeah, Clemson's defense is not quite on the level that Georgia's played tonight, but I mean it's been pretty close. They've if it wasn't for that pick six, this game is tied 3-3. Right in his face. All right, it's a third and manageable for Georgia. What are these tennis players complaining about? What are they like? All the tennis players are complaining about something, and I don't know what's going on. Whoa, big hit. Clemson's defense. They got the ball back. I don't know if you're still here, James Bond, but Clemson's got the ball back. Almost blocked. They hit the punter. No flag, it doesn't look like. Clemson's begging for a flag over there. You're still here. All right. Well, Clemson's got it. They can you got to have some hope. I'm figuring right now. At least you got to feel at least a little bit of hope. I hope for your sake. I don't have a dog in the fight, like I say, no pun intended. Wait a minute. Did they? What did they call? Did they call running into the kicker? What did they? What did they say? I couldn't even hear. Did they call running into the kicker and then just add like take 5 yards away? I didn't think that you could do that. I don't know what just happened. I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused. I assume Clemson still has the ball here. Oh man, it's a hell of a game. This is a hell of a game. I love when I love when these games are so good and it's not my team in it. I'd be having a damn heart attack right now. I'd be having a damn heart attack right now. Guess I'm gonna stand back up. I had to sit down for a second. I like to stand up. I feel more engaged in the game when I'm standing up commentating on it. We need to check the UCLA LSU score right now. All right, Florida's pulling away. Texas A&M's pulling away. Montana is up 10-7 on Washington with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. All right, I'm sorry. Anybody who was saying Washington's got a really good team this year, and I heard a lot of people saying that. Wow, you were wrong. Even if they end up pulling this game out, like Washington, when I do my top 25, Washington will not be in it. UCLA is up 14-10 on LSU at halftime. Oh, wow, they are calling it. Well, it doesn't matter. You're not getting the late hit now. They're not going to call it 5 minutes later. They're not going to call a late hit and pull the flag out. Well, okay, so now Georgia just has to punt it again. I mean, yeah, he had already stepped out of bounds twice. He hits him kind of in the head. I mean, yeah, I guess it's a late hit. I mean, yeah, I mean it's not the most egregious play I've ever seen, but I guess now they punt it here and try to. Hopefully, it's a better punt for Georgia. I guess is what they're hoping. Just wonder, it's 4th and 2 right here. Does Kirby Smart go to the? Oh, he doesn't have anybody back there to fake it, I guess, except the punter. I was like, that would be. All right, well, still kind of the same kind of deal. Clemson's got the ball, 7:36 left, plenty of time left in the game. Can they protect him? Can they protect him for him to get the ball down the field? Do they even try to run the ball at any point in this drive? That'll be interesting. And can they run the ball? Can they do anything trying to run the ball? Not going to it. They protect. Dabo just, that's what Dabo was doing. He was like, give me the next flag. I don't know. I didn't see anything. It looked like a good defensive play. Yeah, I guess he hit him. Yeah, that's pass interference. Yeah, that's pass interference. Well, there you go, Dabo. You got your call that you were working on him for. So you got it. Even when they give him time, there's just not guys open. Um, it depends on where they are in the field when it happens. Like if they don't get any more yards right here, I think now it's I think now it's fourth down territory with as short as it is. Right now, from now on, yeah, it's fourth down territory. You're almost at midfield. Yeah, now at this point, yeah, it is. In my opinion. Do they run the ball here? Do they even try to run the I guess on 3rd and 2, I guess it's a long 2 also. It's almost 3. They're passing. First down. How are you feeling, James Bond? Are you a little more confident now? Are your hopes up a little bit more, or are you just thinking they're going to find a way to blow this? Man, they're all over him again. Another sack. That's the 7th sack. There it is. I guess I had seen all the sacks because I had counted 6. 7 sacks. I mean, you get sacked 7 times in a game. Usually you're not in the game. You get sacked 7 times in a game. You're lucky you're in the game. You're okay. I guess you'll be feeling better if they can go down and score right here. All right, that's a good play. I mean, that was a good play call. It gets them into a 3rd and medium here. It's definitely that way they can use the quick pass. They don't have to worry about the rush as much, hopefully, for their sake. We're down to 5 minutes in the game, though, so yeah, they're going to have to probably score on this drive. Good Lord, they're back there again. First down. He dropped the ball. Now I don't think they go for this, Phil. I don't think they go for this. You have 3 timeouts. I think you punt them. You rely on your defense that has done more than an acceptable job tonight. Your defense has played great. Both defenses played great. They're going to go for it, though. Never fucking mind. Never mind. I thought maybe you try to pin them down there, but oh, my Lord. I guess what you're thinking, even if you don't get it, these guys are hugging like they just won the game. But look, look, the game ain't over. It's not like Georgia has moved the ball that well. So it's not like they're in scoring range right now. Like there's definitely Clemson can definitely get the ball back. This has been an amazing defensive performance, though. I mean, why didn't ask DJ to lose 15 to 20 pounds? Why do you want him to lose 15 to 20 pounds? Do you think he'd be more mobile that way? I think what you ran into tonight was one of the best defenses in the nation, and you're not going to see that again until possibly a playoff game if Clemson can end up getting to a playoff game. You're not going to see a defense like this again on your schedule. I've seen Clemson's schedule. You're not going to play a defense like this again. The closest would be if you play, I can't remember everybody they play on the schedule, but the closest you'll come is if you have to play Virginia Tech. But they're obviously not going to be nearly as talented as Georgia is. So, let's face it. Clemson's going to win the rest of their. Like, if they lose this game tonight, they're going to win the rest of them, though. Who are they going to lose to? Miami? I mean, come on. Florida State? North Carolina? I mean, there's no one on their schedule that they're going to lose to for the rest of the year. So they could, if they're impressive in their wins for the rest of the year, they can still make the playoff. The question will be, can they improve enough on the offensive line to protect him when they play possibly Georgia again, when they play Alabama? A team like that, like, would they be able, like, can they improve enough by then? Like, Clemson's not going to lose another game. Like, if they lose, this game isn't over, so they haven't lost this one. But if they do lose this one, they're not going to lose another one. I just have very serious doubts about that. There's nobody. I just don't think there's anybody on their schedule who can beat them. I think they're going to figure it out, and I think this is just two really, really, really good teams playing their ass off right now. That's the way I see it. I don't think either team is bad. I don't think either team is like bad offensively. I just think the defenses are showing out tonight. I think both defenses have played amazing. I don't think it should show really. Now, I will say that Clemson's offensive line is suspect. Like, Georgia hasn't been able to consistently move the ball, but JT Daniels hasn't been sacked 7 times either, so I will give the advantage to Georgia on that one. All right, there's 4:49 left. All right, what does Georgia do? Do they try to go to the running game here to try to eat some clock? I got to imagine first play is a run. It is. They get 4 yards. All right, that's not the end of the world. It's a good run for them, but not the end of the world for Clemson. I still want to know why Brett Venables is wearing that neon yellow-green hat. I don't know why he's wearing that. Is that just the stand out so like the defensive players can notice him and know where he's at on the sideline easier for some reason? Or is it some other significance that I'm not aware of? Because it's obviously not a Clemson color, so I don't know what that hat is about. It's going to be a third and very short. You want to talk about back in the day when people would complain about Alabama and LSU not scoring any touchdowns and stuff. I mean, look at this game. This is a hell of a game. This is a hell of a game. It's actually refreshing to see a defensive battle like this. You just don't see this very often anymore. It's nice to know that like these kind of games in big game situations are still capable of happening. All right, Clemson's going to go ahead and use a timeout on the first down. That's kind of interesting, but I guess they want to get the defense. Yeah, because Georgia could just, they don't even need to score points. They could just technically just run the clock out here. UCLA 21-10. I'm going to watch the end of that game. I'm not going to do it on this, but I'm going to watch the end of that game. I got that Buffalo Wild Wing sitting in there for me, Phil. I can't stay away from it for too long. That excites me more than the next 3:15 of this game, and that's hard to do because I'm into this. I'm enjoying this game. I've enjoyed this whole weekend from Thursday last night. I love college football. I like the NFL. I love college football. It is the best sport on the fucking planet by far. In my opinion. And I know that's only an opinion and there's no way to make that true. Montana is up 13-7 on Washington with 3 minutes left in the game. Montana is up on Washington. Number 20, supposedly the number 20 team, this Pac-12 team that could make a playoff run that I've been hearing these jokers on their channel saying Washington could be a surprise Pac-12 team to go to the national championship game. Are you fucking kidding me? They're not going to beat Montana. These people have no fucking idea what they're talking about. Yeah, I just saw that, Phil. Yeah, 13-7. But I heard teams saying I've heard people on channels saying, you know, Washington, they could surprise some people. You know, they could make a run, and they could, you know, maybe they beat Michigan second week of the year, and then they go on a run. And are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You think a Pac-12 team is going to go to the playoff? Get out of my mind. Get out of my mind. And it's like you listen to, it's like I don't know anything about Washington football. Like I don't know anything about Washington's football team. So it's like I'm just listening to what other people are saying. So I'm like, okay, well maybe they'll be pretty good. Are you fucking kidding me? 3rd and 1 here. They couldn't stop him. That might be the ball game. Georgia can feel it right now. They can feel it. Clemson's only got one timeout. They wore Clemson's defense down enough. I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Phil? Is this the biggest win in Kirby Smart's career at Georgia? I know they won the playoff game against Oklahoma, and they've won an SEC championship under him. But do you think this is the biggest win in his career? Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, even if they even if they have to go for a field goal and miss it, I don't know how much time is going to be left in this game. I think it's over. Northern Illinois is up 22-21 on Georgia Tech. We were talking about Georgia Tech earlier tonight because they won a national championship in 1990. And it's like kind of hard to imagine that Georgia Tech, as bad as they are, ever won a national championship. Yeah, regular season easily, but that's the easy answer. But is it? There's a lot of people like Kirby Smart gets a lot of. He can't win the big game. He can't, you know, he can't beat Alabama. This and that, beating Dabo Sweeney is about the second best thing to beating Nick Saban, wouldn't you say? I mean, as far as coaching status goes. I don't know. I think this win is right up there for him. I think right now, this is where his career trajectory is at and where people thought Georgia would be. And people not believing him. I mean, we had this discussion today on the phone. You were like, I don't think Kirby Smart is that great of a game day coach or whatever. And maybe he's still not. Maybe the defense is just because obviously the offense hasn't. The offense didn't win him the game. It was the defense that won this game. So. So basically, even if they don't pick this up, there's going to be literally no time left in the game. So Clemson has no timeouts. Basically, you run the ball right up the middle. You've got another timeout. You run it all the way down, call another timeout, kick a field goal. There's going to be about 8 seconds left, maybe. 7 seconds left, maybe. So, I mean, yeah, this looks like the ball game. Unless Clemson was able to block the field goal or something crazy, unless something crazy just happens, even if they miss the field goal, it's the ball game. Even if they miss the field goal. Well, you better be hoping for a block. You got to stop them here on third down, James Bond. And then you got to hope that you probably block the field goal and run the field goal back for a touchdown. Because there's going to literally be no time left on the clock. Even if you stop them right here, they're going to be able to run the clock down to under 10 seconds before they do anything. First down, game's over. Three points. They held Clemson to 3 points. I don't think anybody in their right mind could have predicted this. You might have predicted Georgia to win. Somebody might have predicted Georgia to win. Nobody predicted 10-3. So Georgia's definitely the number 2 team in the country right now next week with the rankings. And literally the difference in this ball game is a pick six. The defense won the game for the defense. This is as old school as it gets, guys. This is as old school as it gets. The defense won the game. Unbelievable. Before I go, let's check the James Bond. I want to thank you for hanging out and definitely appreciate it. I'm sorry for you that your team lost. Again, I didn't have a dog in the fight, but I just enjoyed a good college football game. Sorry for you that your team lost, but other than that, yeah, I'm going to be doing this often. I'm going to be doing other videos and not live videos all the time. They'll be posted videos. So, yeah, I hope to see you again, James Bond. Maybe we'll be doing another Clemson game like this later in the year. Maybe it'll be a playoff. Maybe it'll be a playoff game. I can't see when I would do another Clemson game unless they're in the playoffs. So maybe that's when I would do it. So I don't think Clemson is out of it. I think they can still run the table, and a lot of things can happen during the season. And, you know, I don't really feel like Clemson is out of anything right now. Yeah, it shows a lot of, like, Clemson doing that thing right there after the game with the fans, even after they lost. That's I don't know if I'd feel up for that if I was a player. I'd be like, fuck this shit. UCLA is up 21-17. I'm gonna stay till the end of this Washington Montana game though. All right, James. I hope you have a good night, man. Yeah, I think the offensive line has some serious issues. I think that's where your main problem is at. I think that's where you really got to look to, James. I think they'll get it figured out, and I don't think they're not going to play another team like Georgia until the playoff if they get there. So I think Clemson's in probably decent shape for the rest of the year. So y'all can recover. I wouldn't worry too much about it. But y'all got work to do. There's no doubt about it. You got some work to do, but I think they can recover. They've got talent all over the place. So I'm going to stay till the end of this. I'm just watching this Washington-Montana game on the phone. I'm just looking at it to see what's going on. It looks like it's 2nd and 10 on the Montana 43. Montana just intercepted it, and Montana's going to win the game. Montana just beat number 20 Washington. Yeah, Washington's a real fucking contender. I'm so tired of these people acting like they know what they're talking about. Like, I mean, I don't know anything about Washington football, but I know enough about Washington football right now. They just lost to Montana. You too, James. You have a good night, and I enjoyed talking with you as well. I'm glad you came by, and I appreciate you coming by and hanging out and talking tonight. So I really do appreciate it. So just let me get that point across. But I am going to go ahead and call it tonight. I'm going to turn it over to this LSU-UCLA game and watch it as I eat dinner. And and I will probably have a video recapping the entire weekend on Monday. And it won't be a live thing. It'll just be a video I produce, and I'll post it. And it'll be there on Monday, and hope you guys check it out. Until then, it'll probably be next Saturday before I do I'll have to look at the times and the schedule and what the games are, but I'm hoping to at least do one of these a week. I've done this 3 nights in a row now. I don't expect to do that every week, but it was week 1, so, you know. Hopefully do this once a week, and we'll figure out what game we're doing it for next week. Maybe it'll be Ohio State and Oregon. I don't know.